Hearing that title music takes me to a special place. How long have you been waiting to be whisked away to a remote island in Animal Crossing New Horizons? If you're anything like me, you could not wait to be in debt to Tom Nook again, or be walking around smacking villagers with nets. I'm Jordan, and I'm here to talk about the 5 top new additions to New Horizons, and the 5 that really missed the mark. I want to start out by saying I've been playing Animal Crossing as long as I can remember. I would bring my GameCube back and forth between my parents' houses so I wouldn't miss a single day in my very own virtual community. My expectations were blown out of the water with New Horizons. There are so many changes and additions to the game that make it feel fresh and new. Of course, these changes also brought some that I was not a fan of. Let's discuss. Here are my top 5 favorite changes. Number 5, fruit. In the older games, eating fruit did nothing for your character and nothing to alter the gameplay. Selling the fruit was their only real value to the game. New Horizons managed to make use of the fruit. Consuming a fruit gives you 1 point. This point allows you to break rocks completely or dig up an entire tree. I found this so useful when organizing and planning out my island. I could knock back a couple fruits and uproot an entire tree and just pop it exactly where I wanted it. And it always comes back a full-grown tree. I love this new addition. We also found that eating the Bunny Day event eggs has the same effect. Does this mean we could possibly get some more edible things in the future? I recommend anyone who wants a perfectly sculpted island to take advantage of this awesome new feature. Number 4, customization. I love the randomness of the old games. You would ride the train, bus, or cabin to town and be praying you didn't get a funky looking character. I remember restarting my game so many times to get the cutest eyes or the nicest hairstyle. New Horizons lets you customize your character right from launch, but also again whenever you'd like. You have hairstyles and can unlock so many. Eye shapes, nose styles, and even mouths. This was something I was excited to see added because I really got to make, well, me. You simply go to a mirror and it brings up a ton of options. By going to a workbench, you can also customize almost all of the furniture in game. Remember the blue or green sets from previous games? In my over 100 hours of gameplay, I have yet to see a piece of that being sold in store. That's because now you can make them yourself with basic materials. The customization features really lets you expand on what you can do inside your home and out. All you need are customization kits that are sold in stores, and the possibilities are really endless. Number 3, crafting. Crafting in general was something I was so excited to see implemented into the game. Being able to make your own tables and chairs, even beds, develops really creative gameplay. In order for you to craft an item, you need that DIY recipe, and then you can make that item over and over again. Crafting also makes mindless things, such as walking around and shaking trees, feel even more important. And yes, furniture still falls out if you're lucky. Shaking trees gives you branches, and chopping trees with an axe gives you wood. You also hit rocks to mine stone for iron and clay. All of these new materials are used on those DIY recipes. The crafting element really brings gameplay to life for me. I love a game where I can forage and hoard materials. New Horizon brings that feature. I never thought Animal Crossing would have me hoarding crafting materials, but New Horizons really surprised me. Number 2, the Able Sister shop. As you can tell, New Horizons really focused on personalization, and when the Able Sisters opened shop in my town, truly my mind was blown. When you go in, Sable is still sewing away and Mabel is still running in front of the house. You still see the clothes displayed on the mannequins, but they added a dressing room feature. That's where the magic happens. In the dressing room, there are several variations of the items that are on sale in almost every color. You get to model them, try combinations on, and see what really vibes with you. They have socks, shoes, glasses, dresses, suits. Honestly, every piece of clothing you could think of. It's a fresh addition to the game because honestly, in past titles, I would find one seasonally appropriate outfit and stick with it for months. Now I find myself spending so much time in the dressing room trying on any kind of wacky combination. The clothing shop desperately needed something like this. Not to mention the clothing options and styles in this game go above and beyond anything they were before. This is one of my favorite new additions because the clothes feel real and they feel modern. And they feel like something I would actually wear in today's age, minus that gas mask. Number 1, Terraforming. Finally, the most exciting new addition for me is the ability to terraform. As you play through the game, you will eventually unlock the ability to customize cliffs and waterways for a couple thousand Nook miles. Just load the app up on your Nook phone and get started. Remember when I said I would restart my game for a cute character? I would also restart for a very cool looking island. I would scour my town map looking for cool little nooks and crannies, pardon my pun, praying maybe my river would have an island or my inclines would be L-shaped. Anything to give my island a special edge. With the terraforming ability, you can make your own customized island and add paths and roads. So far, I have spent hours adding roads and paths, knocking down cliffs, and adding ponds and waterfalls to get my perfect town layout. This is exactly what the customization of the game lacked, and I'm very pleased with this addition. Personally, I think this is the most exciting addition because the possibilities are endless. I know I've said it before, but you have so much room to customize your island here. You can flatten the whole island or have a clifftop retreat. It's whatever your vision is for your personal island. Now that I told you my personal favorite additions, let's talk about some things that I've noticed that I really don't like. Of course, not everything is perfect, and I went into the game with an open mind. I expected some things were going to change that I wouldn't like, but I was ready to embrace those changes for a game that I really love. Here are the 5 changes that I was disappointed about. Number 5, less randomness. Remember when I said I would restart for a cool town or a cute character? One thing I would never restart for was villagers. I loved each and every villager that came to my town exactly the same. Even my first starter on New Horizons, Diva. Yikes. When it came time to invite new villagers to my island, I found out I could take a Nook Miles ticket to an island where there would be a villager waiting for me to recruit them. You could keep island hopping until you found exactly who you wanted. This is good for people who want specific villagers, but for me personally, I love and crave the randomness. And because I don't time travel, I wanted to progress as much as I could right away. This means abusing Nook Mile tickets to go over and over and over and over to claim someone so the next real-time day I could just do it all again. I know if you wait, Nook will sell plots and someone random will move in, but as much as I like real-time, sometimes I hate waiting. I guess the real complaint here is that they made selectiveness way too easy, and I'm seeing so many of the same villagers on everyone's island. The variety aspect is kind of lost for me, and I want to see people who have those ugly villagers or the villagers that aren't everyone's favorite. If I have to see another Marshall, I might lose my mind. All I'm saying is I lose interest when things are too easy, and being this selective really felt a little too easy for me. Number 4, villager personalization. One of the saddest things I've seen is the lack of difference in villager homes. Each of their homes are very similar based on their villager type. We all know there are jock, peppy, lazy, smug, snooty, normal, Uchi, and my personal favorite, cranky villagers. I have found between visiting my friends' islands and with my own villagers that if they share a personality type, their home is almost cookie cutter the same. I'm talking about the same layout, same furniture, wallpaper, and flooring. The only time this really differs is if you give them items and then they display them. This feels really lazy to me, and it takes away from their personalized and individual flair. No one feels unique. Now, upon doing some research into this, I did locate an article talking about how your starters and your first 3 villagers are going to have very basic homes, and anyone else you invite will have more elaborate ones. I will leave the link in the description box so you can read, but I did find this to be true and the similarity in personality types to expand a little with the later villagers, giving them more unique homes. In the clips, you can see we're visiting the homes of different villagers, but they have the exact same furniture and style. It really is disappointing, and it really took away from some gameplay for me. I have a lot of the same villager personality types in my town, and when going into their homes, it doesn't feel like I have unique characters. It feels like I have 3 peppy characters, and I really don't like that. Sadly, I don't have a clip of this, but I have a lion in my town, and his name is Elvis, and he's a lion dressed like a king, and his house is awesome, decked out to perfectly fit his style. The man even has a throne. So maybe the similarities are with the initial villagers to your town. I'm not 100% sure, but I will say through my research and through seeing what I have, I was still disappointed, but I have some high hopes that when my villagers kind of circulate, I'll be able to get more unique villagers with a more unique style. Number 3, tools. You have to craft your own tools, which I'm fine with, but they break, even the golden ones. Honestly, that's all I have to say about that. Number 2, random events. I know we talked about randomness with the villagers, but there are some other random events that don't feel so random. For these next few clips, I did lose some footage, so thank you to the wonderful creators whose content I am featuring in this video. Thank you for making your content on New Horizons, and if you guys want to check out their channels, the links are in the description box down below. Please go show them some love. In Animal Crossing, we all know we get special events such as Gulliver, Sahara, and with New Horizons we have Flick and CJ. Despite them being called random events, they seem to happen entirely way too often. On my first 3 days of the game, the first 3 days after release, I had a Gulliver wash up on my shore 2 out of the 3 days. I had a Sphinx statue and a weird hat thing before I even upgraded my tent. Then the following week, I had Wisp maybe 2 times that week. These special events being so frequent makes them feel more like a chore than a reward or a fun perk. This goes with Flick and CJ as well. Flick is a lizard guy who buys your bugs. He's really cool, and while I appreciate the high price tag and the bug statues he creates, he's there entirely way too often for it to be a special event. And CJ, the beaver who takes your fish, he's actually never made it to my town. I've only ever seen him in my friend's town, in YouTube videos, and for the fishing tourney. Not once has he randomly spawned on a random day. I know Justin didn't get Gulliver for almost 3 weeks. This is only a concern because all the other random NPCs are there entirely way too often, and then it feels like we're not getting some. I am also visited by Sahara quite frequently, but I do believe she's a weekly rotation, and her rugs are always welcome. Celeste, 1 time. And to top it all off, no meteor shower and no shooting stars. And I looked. All night. I find myself not surprised or excited for any of these villagers any longer, and running around getting their wisps or fixing their phone is really just a burden. I remember going months without seeing Gulliver in New Leaf. Leave me a comment down below if you think this, or if you know if these events are on a cycle, are they random? Let me know. Any insight would be awesome. Number 1. Nook Miles. This one is bittersweet because there is so much that I do actually like about the Nook Miles. It gives you milestones and something to work toward, and it can also be used to unlock some really interesting items to decorate your island with. Sadly, I foresee it being a problem in the long run. We were all using our Nook Miles to go look for villagers during the first few days and spamming flights to random islands just to experience everything. But that left me with very little Nook Miles at the beginning of my journey. Then grinding Nook Plus rewards gives you anywhere between 100 to 300, and the tasks they make you do are daunting. You get big ticket rewards for milestones such as catching a certain number of bugs or fish or popping a large amount of balloons, and the payoff for those is really quite high, but once those are done, you're just grinding Nook Plus rewards. Taking random pictures and planting trees you don't really want. In my opinion, it kind of forces you to do those daunting and mundane tasks, and honestly, it's boring. Because of this, I find myself hoarding my Nook Miles. I would hate to not be able to purchase a decoration for a new area I'm creating, or to not be able to visit a random island looking for rare flowers or fish. It's a mechanic that I actually do like, but since I keep ticking off those large ticket items, my opportunity for miles gets smaller and smaller. I'm scared for when I have no more 3,000 mile rewards. Despite everything that I think could be improved or changed, I do want to take this time to say that I am so pleased with the game, and I'm actually impressed with Nintendo's quick responses to patch and fix it. It seems like they are listening to the consumer's feedback. The bunny event patch was added simply because the gamers were complaining about it, and some simple fixes were done so quickly I didn't even really know they were in-game bugs. This gives me hope that the future additions and expansions to the game are even more awesome in the features get developed even more. I encourage everyone to take the time to leave me a comment down below and let me know your 5 favorite things, your 5 that you didn't like. If you disagree with me, leave a comment. Let's have a discussion. I really want to know everyone's thoughts because it really is a mixed pool. Some people here in the shed don't even agree with my 5 picks, so it would be really interesting to start a dialogue and a conversation down there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell. We'd love to have you back here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.